So that video cut off, so I have to post it in two parts. My cat rolled into the stop button. You think this is what happens, right? Like when you get areas together, people play football together. People do stuff that is free, where they can enjoy themselves. Instead of going to pubs, paying overly high prices, it's almost like people have forgotten how to do that. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like going to pay for sports. You just go to a field and you just play football. Like everything's arranged now so that it can be policed and so that it can be charged for. Because I think like why would you? What I think as somebody that has money, why would you want to live in a place like this? And I think it's because people think that other people need protecting, right? Do you know what I mean? So like you would go into a place like this because you would think that either you're the sort of person that wants to know shit about other people that you don't know because you want to wield something over them, which I think is one of the weirdest ethoses, and again, is a problem. This is why I don't want to fuck the two girls that you're saying I need to be with because they're dickheads, right? And this mentality is exactly what that fucking breeds. That what that mentality breeds is a bunch of police going into Brixton, Forest Fields, Radford, a bunch of fucking cops going into these places. The CIA. But look at like fucking what happened in the US in the 80s. What you get is a bunch of people going, we don't like that they're happy. We don't like that they're happy. We don't like that they're learning together. We don't like that they're sharing skills. So let's go flood them with drugs. Let's arrest them for nothing. And then let's watch them riot. And because they're angry, let's watch them destroy their own building. That's what that mentality breeds. You have these people and you go, based on these old rigid structures, you go, that's what women want. And it's just the same as eating sweets, right? It's like that triggers something in someone. And people won't break down why. People just go, that triggers something in me, even though it's like a shortcut. It don't mean anything. It's fucking mad. So I think for me, like it's almost the same. Being around people like this, I feel like it's the same as like being in what police say about criminals. Do you know what I mean? Like there's often this mentality of well, just if they want to kill people, just let them kill each other. I feel, feel the fucking same. If they want to listen into everything that's going on with people, let them all listen into each other. And what tends to happen, right? They try to indoctrinate me into their little groups, and what they told me is, you don't attack other people that do this. And I thought, why? They're the fucking assholes. Who's watching them? Do you know what I mean? Who the fuck is listening into them? If they, because for the most part, when I meet these people, I've had these people in my life since I was a kid who enjoy staring out of their window, watching everybody, who enjoy listening into conversations. Why do you think people like watching EastEnders and Coronation Street? You know, when I was watching EastEnders and Coronation Street, old, like, there is a certain type of person that likes watching EastEnders and Coronation Street. It's not me. I fucking hate that shit. So and again, it's almost like the thing with AA for me. If that works for people, that's cool. You insult me constantly. I don't go to your groups. If I go to your groups or to your church because I'm genuinely intrigued, not trying to destroy it, genuinely intrigued. And then I see what's going on and I go, I'm good for that. I'm not going to go in there to suffer. I'm not going to go in there to rinse the piss out of people that I don't have to do that with. I was going to join this group last night, at the weekend, and then they had another trial session last night. The first one got cancelled. It's for something to do with rowing, right? Like as a group. And because of the way the guy in the building next door to them spoke to me a few days ago, I thought, fuck that. I don't, I, and I'm guessing that he was speaking on behalf of them. So I just went, fuck that. And then they didn't respond to either of my two emails. So I thought, it's going to be the same thing. I don't know if they think I want to destroy them or somebody's maybe told them that I do, when actually I just wanted to learn how to get on the water. But I think it's just not going to work out. And then I did think, well, I'm probably just going to buy a kayak come spring anyway. So what would be the point in me joining a group to learn how to do something that isn't getting on a kayak anyway? In 6 months, if in 4 months' time I'm going to try to buy a kayak, either way, what would be the point? I'm going to buy a kayak being a part of the group. I'm going to buy a kayak not being a part of the group. What's the point? I might as well just buy the kayak and just not spend the next 3 months paying something monthly for a bunch of people that are just going to talk to me like a dickhead because they've heard something about me that's not true. But yeah, I mean, living in a block of flats, it's because I just had this conversation with somebody outside who was talking about how, and this is something that I was thinking of that I've been thinking for the last couple of years, right? Because like when my mum and dad were young, they bought a house and it was like fuck all, man. I'm pretty sure that they sold it for around 40 grand and they'd made over double, right? So like I'm pretty sure they paid less than 20 grand. These figures might not be right. They might have paid 40 grand for it, but I don't think so because I think the next house was 75 grand and they sold it for over 100 grand. So you think like back then, my generation's parents could just go and buy a house so easily and pay it off within like a few 4 or 5 years. Do you know what I mean? And then sell it, move up, sell it, and move up. Now what it seems like is they want people to start out in flats because the guy was saying that if I think these walls are thin, that new builds are way thinner. You think it's designed to make people hate living in this type of environment, right? And you look at stuff to do with battery farming, you think they want people to go in, spend money on this stuff, potentially if they have the mind to do it up or pay people to do it up, sell it for more money, then they get onto that ladder that my mum and dad were on. And you think probably something there where they think that maybe they think people are going to live for longer. I don't think people are going to live. Maybe they think the age that people are living is going up, so that now they think they start them off on less with a different circumstance. So then they move up to something that people got at, fucking 18, 19 in the past. But either way, I can't figure out why capable, decent people would move here unless they literally just wanted to trap people up and bully them. Seems insane to me. And again, for me, it's the same as Alcoholics Anonymous. If you enjoy watching EastEnders, if if you enjoy being tortured, knowing that you're being tortured, and then going, "Oh, thank you, save me," yep, come and buy this flat, move into a fucking block of flats. Do you know what I mean? And even think of it as the mass of land and the amount that these buildings cost to build when they were built. This is nothing but pure profit. There's nothing but making shitloads of money over and over and over and over and over again. You got one person taking care of the whole fucking of like all three buildings. It's it's crazy. They will be, and this is what I was thinking about with like, because the guy seems sound. To be honest, I don't think he likes some stuff that I do and say, but like he seems decent. He seems like he's all right. But he was talking about like squatting, people going into buildings that are fucked, and I thought for a second, I thought like, yeah, I have wanted to do that for a long time, but then I thought, I don't like living with people. What's the point? So I'm going to go into some building that essentially, if I'm going to go into somewhere and fix it up, it probably shouldn't be for me. It should probably be for a group of people, knowing that I don't want to live with people. And I think of the type of people that become landlords that own like multiple properties. they usually do it like this group of buildings. They do it to pinch every single penny. They don't give a fuck if one person doing all the work is getting stressed, pissed off, talking to some random guy about all the problems he's facing this morning. I don't care about that. I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit about what he has to face trying to maintain every fucking flat and building. They don't care about that. What they'd rather do is have me talk about it and then him blame me. Just the same as what I was talking about with like the people above, I'd say 60 in this country. We all think, oh, let's love our country, let's love our country, let's love our country. And then when someone goes, I don't, I'm not sure if that's something that we should love, they hate the person that speaks about it. They shoot the messenger. I think this is exactly the same. You get these people, because I think, why would I want to be a landlord? I don't, I don't want to do that. I've hated nearly every landlord I've ever had. So why would I want to do that? That seems like a ridiculous idea. And I think, well, I would probably work on a space with a group of other people. With a group of people, I would probably try to get in touch with, like, probably get in touch with people and try to turn spaces into places where everybody could hang out. That sounds like a great idea, but I wouldn't want to fucking live there. I don't want to live with anybody. So I think, yeah, I mean, flats seem to be for like, um, I guess what these people want is people like them, which is absolutely fine. But I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to do that. And I guess then talking to my doctor this morning, made him go, okay, well, I'm going to speak to housing and see if we can get you in somewhere different. I don't own a property. I can't afford a property. So they said, okay, well, we'll see if we can get you in somewhere different. I'm sure that there might be issues in that bit. There may be issues in that space. But for me, at least in a house, at least if it's even semi-detached, you can just choose a room that is not directly with one, two, three, four, five people. Do you know what I mean? So I guess that's a difference. And I think when you actually vocalize your problems, sure, I might have had to endure 10 months of not even knowing for like 6 months of it that people were trying to fuck with me. Or why. Which is exactly the same as what happens a lot of the time with me. People go, I don't like it. And it's even weirder when people think there is some sort of power within that. I think there isn't some sort of power within that. It's just that the law is corrupt as fuck. There's no power within that ethos of saying, I'm going to fuck with this person even though he doesn't know who I am. That there is only power within that because of the corruption that we are dealing with constantly. I just think back to like when people confront me on things and you have a conversation, you just go, okay, that's fine. And it's another thing where a lot of the types of people that listen into people so that they gain information from them, so that they can destroy them. They're also the sorts of people that go and pretend to be friends with someone so that because they think, oh, I'm getting this person to stop doing something, which therefore they think gives them some sort of points. This is again, I'm going back to this girl I used to work with at Eon who was going, you're going to be one of the bestest players of this game ever. And I thought, what? At that age, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not playing a fucking. I'm trying to play a fucking game with you people, man. I just want to be left alone. Do you know what I mean? There is there is nothing to this where I'm trying to like, oh, I'm trying to antagonize people to win. Oh, I'm trying to. None of that is happening. It's just reacting to people being twats to me. And again, there's another situation where you have to literally put listening devices or put your ear to the wall to listen to me. Like I'm walking around in the street and I'm seeing people. I'm seeing the state of the evolution that we're going through. I'm seeing what the propaganda is and what that means. I'm seeing the laws that are passed. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying, right? Because this is exactly the same as those people go, well, you are asking for it. Like, no, no, it is not asking to be punched in the face by talking to someone. It's not asking to be punched in the face. It's not asking to be murdered by talking about how somebody imprisons people en masse so that they can live fine and everybody else can be fucked. That's not asking for anything. That's making an assessment of somebody, of a group of people being pieces of shit. So anyway, to summarize, if you don't like, if you don't like nosy fucking people who would say that by reading a newspaper, you're doing the same as them breaking into your flat and trying to psychologically torture you, don't move into a high-rise block of flats. If you look at people that go out of their way to get involved in other people's business so they can judge them, don't move into a flat like this. Just leave them. You even look at, right, so I've moved in here and I've gone, yo, it's mouldy as fuck. What the fuck is going on here? Because you think that there's not a problem with there being moisture in the air, is there? There's zero problem with there being moisture in the air. Well, the problem is the type of brickwork, the type of material that has been used, right, with regard to the paint, the brickwork, the wood, that is rotting. That is causing the spores that fuck people's breathing up. They give them types of cancer. They give them type that fucks them up, and then they go to the doctor and they go, "Well, it's your fault for having to live in this space." It's fucking mad. It's nothing to do with having moisture in the air. It's nothing to do with condensation. It's to do with what the building is built out of, and that being rotten. So again, to summarise, because you can even see that as a fucking metaphor for this shit. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like walking into this building and seeing the rot and going, "Fuck!" Like complaining about it. It's almost like the people that want to stay here like the rot. They brought the rot on, and they want to exist in it. You just think that it's fine, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Because if you didn't want to exist in it, you do what I'm doing, which is to the people that own the building, to the guy that maintains the building, to the couple of people that I've spoken to, the three people that I've spoken to that live around me, and vocalizing what the problems are, and then getting the fuck out. We think that a lot of people just go, I want to exist here. I like the rot. You just think, okay, you, because it's not even that they're killing each other through this fucking like acrid energy. It's just rotting the building, and that's what's ending up killing them as well. Fucked, man. I look at the people that own these buildings. I looked at all the people that invest money and that own these buildings. They're all just people that are saying they're in the creative industry, and they all look like dickheads, man. It's like being creative does not mean that you are helping the world in any fucking way, shape, or form. So yeah, I mean, if you like listening to other people, if you like beefing with people constantly, if you like listening to people's drama, if you like, then move into one of these flats. There are so many people that I know that would fucking love it, and I get on with them from a distance. So yeah. Otherwise, I, I, I don't know. They're your options, I guess, these days. For me, you look at countries that are more advanced than us, right? Japan looks like it from afar. China, you look at what they're going through now, where people are buying like a tube. Do you know? People are buying like a space where it's just a bed, and you think that that's probably where we're heading, right? Because I was looking at the with the guy earlier, looking at the house next door. Apparently, that's been boarded up for 8 years now, maybe longer. I mean, I can't remember it not being boarded up, so I don't know how long it's been. It's been like that. No, I don't know how long it's been like that, but you think it looks cool as fuck from the outside. You think, well, why couldn't somebody? And they're just going to demolish it. I guess it costs a lot more money for them to do that. And I was thinking about trying to go in there, and I thought, you know what? With what will happen, this is what will happen if I do that. I'll go in there, go, oh, I could work on this. I could take a room, and I could get some other people involved, and they could all move in. And I thought, and then what happens? Then we have some big fight when the people come and go, no, we're going to demolish it, and all this work that you've done, we're going to demolish it all, and we have to go, no, let's save the fucking building. Like, can't be fucked. Fuck that. It's all a setup. That's why. I just want to be left alone. I want to be living somebody else's fucking story, man. Um, but yeah, it's a weird situation because that's what the people that property next door is huge. That would have housed one family, one normal family back in the day. A house that size would have housed one normal family, not rich, not poor, not any sort of class system. That would have just been like a family of four, six. It would have just been a normal sized family would have lived there. And now, what we have today is that we're looking at countries whose economy, whose technology maybe is a little bit more advanced than us, and we're seeing that in the future, it's not going to be a one bed flat in a rotten building. It's going to be like just a bed. It's going to be just buying a bed in a place where you can close your eyes. Mad, man.